Hi everyone, welcome back to my coding place. Today we're going to learn how to make a donut using the shapes tool, and it's going to be a really fun, short, quick tutorial. So to begin with, I want you to choose the paint bucket tool and choose whatever color you would like for the background. And then once you found a color that you would like, I want you to press the screen so that way the color fills onto the page. Now I want you to choose the shapes tool and make sure you choose the circle that is not filled in, and I want you to choose like a beige tan color for the dough of the donut. And then I want you to drag across the screen to make a donut shaped circle. You can keep playing around with it. I kept playing around with it so I can make it more centered on my page. So you can keep doing that, and yeah. So then once you like the circle for your donut, I want you to make another circle in the middle for the donut hole. So just keep playing around with it until you like the way it's centered. Okay, so once you found a circle shape that you liked for inside your donut, I want you to access the paint bucket tool again. And I want you to use that same color and then touch inside the donut, because once you touch inside of it, it fills in the color. Okay, so now that we have our donut, I want you to go back to the paintbrush tool and choose an icing color for your donut. I chose a strawberry color, so I chose a lighter pink, but you can do chocolate, vanilla, whichever type of icing that you want. Follow that color. And so then once we've chosen the color, I want you to play around with the size of the brush tool. So I did 18. And I want you to draw like squiggle lines inside the donut to create the donut icing. And so you can see it's a little hard to like play with the icing because my size is too small. So I chose size 85 for it to be a little bit easier for me to fill in the icing. And so just play around with it. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to clean it up in a little bit. Okay, now that you're done with your icing, I want you to use the eyedropper tool, and I want you to touch the dough color, so the tan, and this is gonna make sure that whenever we clean up our icing, that it's the same color as the dough. So I already began, and I chose size 23 so I can clean up my icing, and I'm just making little squiggle lines so it can look nicer. But yeah, just clean up your donut icing however you would like. Okay, now we're gonna choose a sprinkle color. So I chose white, and I made my size 4.8, so it's really small, and I'm just dragging across the screen to make sprinkles. And you can get more precise with this if you like and go into the shapes tool and actually have like a straight line, which is an option for the shapes. But for me, I just used freehand to draw my sprinkles. And so then you can also add more colored sprinkles if you would like. So I added a brown color. So I went between red and orange to find a brown sprinkle color. And I used the eyedropper tool because I had messed up, but yeah. So continue to do the sprinkles, however you would like, whatever colors, and just play around with it. Okay, so our donut is done now, and I want to show you how to duplicate this drawing. And so I want you to go to the transform tool, and I want you to select the donut shape. And I was using the square, but I'm going to show you that you can make it easier by choosing the circle shape. And you can try to trace, I guess, the donut. And so I'm just playing around with it so the donut fits inside my circle. And so once I have done that, I'm going to transform and press the transform button. And then once I've done that, you want to click the clone button, and then you can start editing how small you want the clone to look like, and just like put it around the background. And so that's what I'm doing right now. And so you can play with this. This is a good tool to learn on how to clone, because instead of recreating something, you can just easily clone it and transform it. And so yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.